Hi, this is Jay Dibler. I am part of the Game Changer Pod here at the Stanford Lead Program. I'm going to share with you the Leadership iOS, the internal operating system that I use to develop leaders within my organization. So as I start most of my presentations, I always like to start with a little bit of humor, a little levity. So to be an effective team leader, he's telling them you need to have patience and strength, insight, tenacity, courage. If that doesn't work, you can always bring them donuts. So, there's about 1,000 different little funny comics you can find about leadership. It is definitely something that's not for the weak of heart. But there's a lot of things that leadership is, and it's a mix of both an art and a science. So every quote that you're going to see, you'll see that leadership's quoted as an art, some you'll see as a science, and it's actually a mix. Jim Collins, the author of Good to Great, Leadership's the art of getting people to want to do what must be done. That is the art. But before you can have that, the question that I always ask people is, what's your purpose? Why are you in leadership? And I like to give the example of what mine is. And I put a lot of thought into what my purpose is and why I'm actually doing this. And my aim is to leave everything better than when I got there. What does that mean? That means every relationship, every company, every house I've ever lived in, every relationship, whether it's my wife, my kids, my employees, my friends, I want them to be better after we've been in a relationship than before. And as an impactor of impactors, that means a leader of leaders. I lead with compassion, which I think is the number one characteristic of leadership, service, humor, optimism, effort, gratitude, and energy. There's also a couple other things that I think are just table stakes. Leadership is 100% people business. So if you're a leader, you lead people, not employees. And people mean that you get all aspects of their life. And then lastly, you have to be willing to sweat with your people if you want them to handle the heat, meaning you have to be willing to put in the same level of effort, the same level of gratitude, the same level of optimism, the same amount of time, the same amount of energy and excellence that you expect them to do. Now, when we talk about leadership, I talk about the Leadership iOS, which is an internal operating system, but iOS is slightly different in terms of leadership. They're the three pillars or the three legs of the stool that you need to be able to stand on. First is inspirational excellence. So you need to be able to help those people want to do what needs to be done. You also need to have operational excellence, when you need to be able to inspect what you expect from your people. And lastly, you need strategic excellence. You need to be able to lay out the plan for you to achieve your goals. We all talk about strategy, but when you boil it down, how many people know that strategy is actually my plan to accomplish my goal? It's my methodology, it's my how. My operational excellence is my measurement. Those are my KPIs and my metrics, my what. And the inspirational, well, that's what a lot of people think the only thing leaders do, which is that cheerleader, that encourager. The word encourage means to give courage. And so what we need to do as leaders is be able to see beyond somebody's current capabilities and help them see them for their next step. And so I'm actually going to go into strategic leadership and spend some time actually talking about strategic leadership.